Hi, this is Stevie, fitness instructor and healthcare educator at Aging Partners here at Victory Park. We're going to be doing some chair yoga today. This chair yoga is going to be really fun. You can do it as dynamic as you want. You can really work on the dexterity of your hands if you want to work on that arthritis. And we're going to work on having a little bit of fun with our brain function and feeding that brain. So we're going to go ahead and start with our warm-up. We're going to do our chair yoga and then have a cool down for the day. If when you're sitting, you find that your knees fall below your hips, a yoga block is amazing, and we can put that down and stand on there so we're a little bit taller right here. That's always an option. Having a yoga block at home is a phenomenal tool, and I would suggest it for anyone. All right, let's go ahead and get started with that warm-up. We're going to go ahead and take our chin, dropping it all the way down to the chest, taking a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Filling those lungs with fresh oxygen. We're going to inhale from the nose and exhale from the mouth. One more time. Inhale from the nose, letting that rib cage expand, and exhale from the mouth, letting that fully collapse. Coming back up to center with that chin, we're going to take our right ear to our right shoulder, giving a nice stretch, breathing in. If that feels good, we're going to go ahead and loop that right hand over to our left temple. Just a little bit of pressure, easing that out. And if it feels good and we want to extend that stretch, we're going to take the left hand and extend that. Inhale from the nose, opening up that body. Exhale from the mouth, taking our hands off of our head before we come back up to center. Now going to the left side, taking the left ear to the left shoulder, giving ourselves a minute right here to let that decompression work in our neck. If we want to advance it, we're going to loop that left hand over to our right temple. Just some slight pressure, nothing to pain, no twisting, nothing sharp. If anything feels sharp, back off. And extending that right arm out if you want to advance that stretch. Taking some nice deep breaths in. Exhale out the mouth. And lowering those hands before we move our neck back up. Rolling our shoulders backwards. We're going to go forwards. Ah, that feels good. Let's get our hips and our neck into it. So we're going to go out and in. Ooh, getting some pops and cracks already. And rotating out those ankles. If you ever need to quickly wake up those legs, we're going to just do a drop, just a straight old foot drop. That gets all that blood shooting straight up and back down, and now we're fresh and ready to go. All right, so this chair yoga exercise, you have to do it the way it works for you. So maybe we need to do a little more handwork and dexterity. We're going to be doing something called pick the fruit. Maybe you want to do this workout more as a yoga flow and you want to flow it up. Maybe you want to work on the grip. It's up to everybody. Everyone's different, and you have to go and do what is right for you. All right, we're going to start our yoga. Here we go. We're going to pick the fruit, starting with our right hand at center. We're going to inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, put it in the basket with the palm down. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, put it in the basket with the palm down. Exhale, back to center. Last time. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Switching out to the left side. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Final time. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Perfect. Now we're gonna give it away. Starting back on that right side. Bringing our hand back to center, taking nice deep breaths, reaching up as high as we can, picking the fruit. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, give it away with our palm out. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Last time. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Going and switching to that left side, right at our center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Final time. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Perfect. So now we're just gonna do all of those motions just a little bit more compound. We're gonna do both hands, starting at center. We're gonna put it in the basket, then we're gonna give it away, then we're gonna do our combination. Here we go, starting up, both hands nice and tall. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Final one. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Perfect. Now we're going to give it away, both hands, starting at center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Final time. Pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Exhale, back to center. Perfect. Now we're gonna do our combination. This is where we're gonna bring our physical and our mental workout together. So our right hand is gonna put it in the basket, and our left hand is gonna give it away at the same time. All right, here we go. We got it 3 times. Remember, right hand, palm down, left hand, palm up. We got it. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Final time. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away. Put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. It generally takes that 3rd time to get it right anyway. All right, here we go, fixing and going to the opposite side. So our right hand, palm up, left hand, palm down. Right hand's gonna give it away, left hand's putting it in the basket. All right, here we go. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Woo! See, I did it. Inhale, give it away and put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Everyone does it. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. One more time. Inhale, pick the fruit. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, give it away, put it in the basket. Exhale, back to center. Oh, that wasn't so hard. Well, it kind of is, but we did it. Usually the third time is usually our golden time, which is perfect, and we did it. So that is picking the fruit. You can use that exercise to your advantage if you have arthritis. Really pick that fruit, bring your hand around that fruit, pick it down. You know, you can use your strength with that. You can do a little strength training with this. You may only need it for just a steady flow. So maybe you just need to gently pick the fruit, come back, and it's more of a gentle motion. You can make this exercise whatever you need to make it for yourself, which is perfect about it. All right, now we're gonna start doing a nice little seated cat-cow. This is gonna feel really good on our back, our spine, and open up our chest. We're gonna inhale, bringing that chest out, opening up those shoulders, bringing our chin up. And on our exhale, we're going to drop our hands over our knees. Our shoulders are rounding up. We're tucking our chin, and everything's nice and tight. Now we're gonna exhale, opening it up, dropping our shoulders back, opening up our chin. This is the cow position. This is a nice, glorious cow, nice and fat, happy in the sunshine. That's what you should feel like. If you want to relax your jaw, if you want to move your tongue around in your mouth, this is the perfect time to do that, nice and relaxed. Cat, here we go. Inhale from the nose. What we're thinking of here is that Halloween cat, scaredy cat, that spine's pulled up, our skin's tucked. We are super tight. You can ball up your fist if you need to. And on that exhale, we're relaxing everything and coming back into our cow position. Do this as natural for you on your inhale and your exhale. Inhale, we're coming up, we're nice and happy and glorious and fat. On that exhale, we're gonna ball ourselves up. All right, perfect. Well, let's go ahead and do some leg work. We can go ahead and roll out our ankles. One at a time. Now we're gonna work our calves and our hamstrings. So we're gonna put our heel down, our toe is straight up, and we're just hinging that hip forward. And it generally doesn't take much of a hinge to get those muscles fired up and tell you what they are doing. Switching out our sides, heel down, toe up, nice straight back, and hinging forward. All right, working our way up. Now we're gonna stretch out our quad muscle, the top of our thigh. So we're just gonna go to the side of the chair and drop our knees straight down. And that is gonna give us a good quad stretch. You can rotate your ankle around if that feels good. And swapping back out to the opposite side, because we can't be lopsided. So just dropping that knee straight down. Gotta stretch out both sides good. All right. Here's our biggest motion that we're gonna do. We're gonna do a forward fold, which is a lot of hip work, and it's gonna feel really good. So we're gonna take our feet, spread them a little bit further out, and we're only working those hips, right? So we're gonna take a nice deep breath in. Imagine a string pulling right off the top of your head, just like you're a puppet and our spine is nice and straight. So now with this hip hinge, and something that I learned that's very valuable, especially sitting, right? If we drop our glasses or the remote or something's on the floor and we need to reach it, instead of going over your hips, go through your hips, and you're gonna have such a better reach. So what that looks like is if something were on the floor and I went over my hips, I'm kind of doing this motion. But if I go over or through my hips, look at that. I can just reach so much further down. So just taking a nice deep inhale through the nose Getting tall over your hips and then going over and through them. That's gonna make it so much easier to do anything. So we're gonna do a forward fold and get a nice good stretch. Inhale from the nose, and we're following our hands with our dexterity and our flexibility, and we're just following those hips. Maybe this feels good and you're just gonna stay right here at your knees. Maybe it feels better to lean forward on your shins. You can even touch your shoes if you want, or even the floor, wherever you can reach. Just breathing it out through there, letting those hips open up. Hips are kind of tight. It's hard to get them a good stretch. If you'd like to do a full body stretch right here, we can take our right hand and go all the way up. Inhale from the nose and exhale from the mouth. Dropping it back down, we're gonna swap out our sides. Inhale from the nose and exhale from the mouth. There's lots of stretches we can do in a forward fold to help out those hips, but the most important part is coming out of our forward fold, nice and safe. So our hips are doing all of the work. Our back is not doing the work, the shoulder's not doing the work, we're not leading with our head. We're letting those hips do all the work. So what that looks like is we're going to hinge those hips, 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 hips. Now those vertebrae are stacking up on top of each other, shoulders rounding out, and our head is nice and straight. Perfect. That is a very great basic forward fold. We can do that at any time. We can add to that. We can make it as advanced as we want. We can ease off and just stay at the knees right here and practice our flexibility, and it'll grow over time. It's just like balance. Your flexibility and your balance, we can just work a little bit at a time and it will definitely get better. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and coming back up. We're going back up our body, finishing up. We're gonna work on our arms and our forearms a little bit. We're gonna have our right hand come up and over our left hand. Now when our elbows meet, we're gonna flip up. Taking a nice deep inhale through the nose, really separating those back muscles, really opening up your shoulder blades. Exhale, coming down and relaxing that out. Now my right hand was on top, so this time I'm gonna have my left hand on top. We're shooting out, shooting out, shooting out, swapping at the elbows and taking a nice deep breath, opening up the back of those shoulders, getting our neck nice and open. Inhale, going all the way up. Exhale, coming down. Relaxing it out. Perfect. Now one more for our neck. We're going to interlace our fingers. We're gonna come to the back of our head and we're gonna press. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the front. 4, 3, 2, 1. To our left side. 4, 3, 2, 1. And our left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Strengthening that neck is a big one that we all need to do no matter what age. That neck is pretty important, and it's going to give us a lot of relief on those shoulders, the chest, the top of that back, all of it, everything. Thank you so much for coming to chair yoga this morning, for picking the fruit, for expanding a little bit more of our fitness and our brain workout. And we're ready to have a great day. Thank you so much.